Laughing in the time of adversity. That sounds rather irreverent, doesn't it, in this time of trauma and tragedy, sadness throughout the world. However, studies have been shown that the ability to laugh in the time of adversity is actually a strengthening process. Studies have been shown that we as adults very rarely laugh nowadays. Children laugh about 100 times a day. Adults might laugh 20 times a week. My mission this summer, and summer, by the way, folks, is supposed to be a time to relax, to have fun, and to play. We need to get back to that mentality even in these difficult times. It helps us, it helps our mental health. That's also the number one point that these neurologists pointed out in a study. It's important to start playing again, even in the time of adversity. It strengthens our inner core, our mental health, our ability to be resilient, to be warriors. It's even more important for people around us to see that there is some happiness. It's also important for our children to see that we are capable of still persevering. It gets us through every day when we laugh even a little. You can smile, you can smirk a little, you can giggle. I'm here to help you throughout the summer. My episodes are going to be shorter, but in every segment I'm going to include a funny video, a funny story, maybe a little joke, but it's going to be something you can also share with your kids. The first part of this segment, the wealth aspect, is actually a hilarious video by Tony Baker. It's kid-friendly. It's a voiceover of dogs. It is hilarious. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch a couple of seconds. You will be laughing. Again, it's kid-friendly. You can share it with your children. You will be laughing out loud. With Kundalini Yoga, I have been a proponent for the year and a half, almost 2 years I've been producing this podcast. It's so important to get your children to start some kind of yoga, but I am, again, a proponent of Kundalini Yoga. HARIPRAKAASH does a specific children's virtual class. She helps them be silly. If you can't help your children be silly, let them watch this virtual class. Treat it just like it's summer camp. I've also included for adults, but your children would love this documentary on one of the most famous Zen Buddhists, I forget how to pronounce his name. We all know who he is. Thich Nhat Hanh. I don't think I said that right. However, this documentary is so inspiring with action steps. He teaches us in this short documentary how we can make a huge change in the world, or even a small change in the world, just like him. Before his death, he had hundreds of Zen monasteries throughout the world, a huge following, and their mission is to be mindful, but to really improve the world, leave it in a much better place. It's a good documentary, and it will make you smile. Something I'm really excited about when it comes to wine is Stout Ridge Winery and Distillery in Marlborough, New York. This is Hudson Valley, and it's a beautiful, stunning area of Hudson Valley. Stout Ridge Winery and Distillery has been around for over 20 years. This is one of the most unique destination places you will ever discover. Steve Osborne and his wife Kim are a true Renaissance couple. They have built this distillation process and their winery process from absolute scratch. Not only are they using everything from Hudson Valley as much as possible as far as their fruit sources, their aquifer, their water, which is highly important in our world. I can promise you, pure water is going to be the next gold and the next oil. It's important to know where your water is coming from, folks. all the water that they use is from their aquifer, which is a limestone aquifer 400 feet down. Now, to get a well that goes 400 feet down was highly expensive. And it's not just that they have spent oodles of money on the whole process of their winery and distillery. It's that they have this huge philosophy that no, money is not an object, because they want to have the purest of products available, ecologically sound and ecologically focused. I'm going to talk about the distillation process for the next few weeks, because this has really put them on the map. There is no winery/distillery in the United States like Stoutridge. When you go to the website, which of course is going to be on the podcast details link, I want you to click on the distillery section. You will see that there are pictures of the pot stills, pictures of the column stills, and you will see the still that has 30 plates. The essence of making a pure spirit starts with the water. That's why I brought this up, because the purest water is invaluable to making a beautiful spirit and beautiful wines. Stoutridge is known for being the only distillery that uses the traditional Scottish style kilning floor. Steve explained to me today that the floor is actually perforated. So the kiln is what's used, the stills. The kiln fires everything up, gets everything to the right temperature, and they built a huge chimney, so obviously the heat's going upwards, and they even have a fan that pulls the heat up also. Otherwise, they would not be able to work in there. It'd be like purgatory. What's fascinating about these stills is they have specific jobs, so to speak. The pot stills, there's not a column on it. When you go to the website, you'll see the pictures, very self-explanatory. The pot stills he's using for specific products, the malt. And you use this when you're making specific spirits. Now, his spirit collection is overwhelming. There's no reason for you to buy spirits from anywhere else. I am very serious about this, because while I don't do too many spirits any longer, I love a good mezcal. It's important to, if you're going to put anything in your body, make it as pure as possible. This is why I volunteer at our community garden. You can't get any more organic than our community garden. Same thing with his spirits and his wines. His wines are all naturally produced, by the way. This winery and distillery really is a destination place for you folks to go to. And Steve, we'll talk your ears off, but you will learn so much that you will stop buying Smirnoff. Okay, I never knock products when I'm on my podcast. But really, just going to his website, going to their website, you will learn oodles of information, enough to get you started where you're going to take a drive or book an airline and stay in that beautiful area. By the way, if you need suggestions where to stay, I lived in that area across the river for 22 years. I know all the places to go and all the places to stay. To wrap this up, summer is a time for us to play. Summer is a time to us have fun and relax and slow down. I'm not being irreverent when I suggest you find ways to laugh. And listening to Tony Baker, the man's hilarious. He does all these animal voiceovers, so listen to this on the podcast. Please have your children learn how to do some kind of yoga. Yes, I'm a proponent. Yes, I'm a yoga snob. But this particular Kriya that's on the podcast link helps your children relax, be silly, build their self-confidence, become more self-aware. And lastly, you really do want to visit Stoutridge Winery and Distillery. You can order products right off of his website also. Wrap this up. I'm going to make really short podcasts during the summer. They're always going to have something in there to wake you up and start laughing, even if it's for a couple of seconds. To end this, I'm not a life consultant. I'm not a life coach. I produce this podcast on a weekly basis to create a healthy lifestyle, to help people create a healthy lifestyle in less than 10 minutes. Merci, au revoir. Valerie Hale, Wealth Yoga Wine. Thank you for listening. And that's Thich Nhat Hanh. My apologies.